Hi traders, my name is Duncan Cooper and I'm a Senior Market Strategist and Trading Mentor at AUDJPY Securities. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the key trading levels for the week ahead for the pairs the Australian dollar to the Japanese yen, the Australian dollar to the US dollar, the euro to the Japanese yen, the euro to the US dollar, the pound to the Japanese yen and the pound to the US dollar. So let's get into the first pair. Hi traders, hope you've had a great trading week. Now I'm on the Aussie yen day chart here, so on my charts I've got my monthly, weekly, daily levels all drawn in, and then the description below. I'll just talk about the ones that are relevant nearest price action. So Aussie yen, we've moved through this week, weekly resistance 83.98 and 84.29, so I'm expecting any pullbacks. Those levels should act as support if the market's going to continue moving up. So Friday we almost challenged 85.18 weekly resistance, and it's a bit of a signal day here, so I'm expecting at the start of the week we may come down and challenge 84.29 weekly support or 83.95 weekly support. Then the question is, do those levels hold? If they don't hold, then we could, depending on what happens, move back down to 82.01 weekly support down here. If 83.98 holds as support, then I would anticipate that we're going to move back up and re-challenge 85.18. And then the question is, obviously we got a little bit short on Friday, so obviously the sellers are there. Can price actually move through that level to challenge 85.80 monthly resistance? And there's a further monthly resistance at the top, the final top there, 86.24. So it's going to be challenging. The environment is really challenging at the moment to be a trader. Can that move continue, or are we now in a strong resistance area for a move down to test those weekly support levels? Okay, so that's the Aussie yen. Okay, to the Aussie dollar. Now I was expecting the Aussie dollar might hold at weekly resistance here at 73.14, but clearly we've moved through that level. And intraday on Friday, it did actually come back down to that level and hold as support. So short term, now 73.14 old weekly resistance is becoming support, and we're moving up and testing a couple of daily resistance levels here. Now this is a little bit overextended, but price could still continue up. So in the short term, we may come up to these next two levels. That's monthly resistance 74.14 and weekly resistance at 74.26. So just a little bit around the 7400 level or above. I'm expecting if we do get up to that level, that we will maybe hold in the short term and then obviously have some kind of pullback. So a pullback, for the buyers to remain in control, they need to defend 73.14. If price starts to move below that level, then we could be quite obviously moving back down the range. So start of next week we may further advance, watch 74.14, 74.26 monthly and weekly resistance, maybe to offer resistance for a short-term pullback. That short-term pullback, if the buyers are in control, should hold at 73.14. Okay, that's the Aussie US dollar. Okay, to the euro yen, so a highly volatile market, and I've only got a few lines on here, and then these are the major lines. So price has moved down, and in fact I might just go down to the weekly chart so you can see the levels better for this pair. Let me just get rid of my drawing tool. Alright, get my drawing tool back. So we've actually moved through last week, moved through monthly support at 127.37 on Friday, all the way down to weekly support at 125.08. So the question is, does the downtrend volatility remain? Can we move below that level? And the next critical levels to watch are monthly support levels. They're at 122.87 from over here, and further below that 121.61. So in the short term, is this 125.08 weekly support level going to hold? If it does, we could see price move back up, revisit 127.37. Broken support, does that become new resistance for the market to then come back down and re-challenge 125.08? Of course, at the start of the week, price might not want to rally and then we're looking for a break of 125.08 to move further down, and the next level to challenge is 122.87 monthly support. Okay, so a very volatile market, be very careful. It's worth saying, you know, when the market's so volatile on a particular pair, you don't have to trade it. Just wait till the volatility declines, okay? So that's the euro yen. Okay, onto the euro US dollar. Another very volatile pair. Last week we broke through the 111.21 weekly support level and traded down and almost tested monthly support at 108.79. So just going to go to the weekly chart so we can see the other levels worth noting for the week ahead. Just get my drawing tool. Alright, so we broke through 111.21 weekly support and also daily support there at 111.04 and challenged into Friday monthly support here. That's coming from this low over here, the old low. So the question is, are we going to have a bounce here like I was just discussing on the euro yen at its support level, or do we move straight through? If we have a bounce, then we could revisit daily and weekly now resistance 111.04, 111.21. Expect those levels to hold. Broken support becomes new resistance for then a move back down to re-challenge monthly support. If support doesn't hold, and this pair is very volatile, it might just slice straight through because that's what it's doing at the moment. The next key level to watch is the big 106.35 monthly support level down here, okay? Of course, as well, volatility can change from the downside to the upside. Of course, price doesn't have to respect resistance here. It could move up. So euro yen and euro dollar are very volatile, as I just said before on the euro yen. In times of heightened volatility, you don't have to trade those pairs because anything can happen at the moment on these two pairs. Alright, so those are the levels to watch on the euro dollar. Okay, moving on to the pound yen. Now this has been respecting support and resistance perfectly over the last week or two. So last week we actually came down and bounced on weekly support, 152.89 area, came up, retested daily resistance, that held, and then into Friday we moved through these support levels. Okay, so the next question is, are we just going to continue straight down at the start of the week to test daily support 151.22, or in the short term are we going to rally back up to resistance? Does resistance hold? So 152.66 is daily resistance, 152.89 is weekly resistance. If we do rally, I'll probably expect that weekly resistance level will be tested because it played so heavily here for support. If that level holds, then look for a move down to test first of all daily support at 151.12. Then if that level breaks, I'm anticipating we could move down and test weekly support at 149.00. On this pair we've got that double top up here that's obviously held and formed, so the target for that is actually below 149.00, so I'm anticipating that the price can move down and test 149.00 maybe next week. Alright, so that's the pound yen. Okay, last pair to go through, the pound US dollar. This has been moving down in a nice downtrend, not as aggressively as the other pairs, but still showing a nice downtrend. Last week we held at daily resistance 134.30, moved through weekly support. That has on Friday become resistance. You can see there the high of the day was only at 133.57, so that's become new resistance now, and we traded through daily support at 132.72. So I'm expecting that we may be two scenarios at the start of the week. We could just trade down to 131.68, just continue down, or short term we could come back up, retest broken support at 132.72. Does that become resistance for then a move down to challenge 131.68 monthly weekly support, and then just below that you've got another level of weekly support at 131.34. Okay, so that's what could happen at the start of the week. Of course, if support comes in and things shift, then we may be moving up to retest and challenge 133.57 weekly resistance, or as well we could move up, retest 134.30 daily resistance. So get the levels on your charts and then just see what happens when price gets to those levels. Okay, so I'm anticipating that we'll just be moving down, hopefully. 132.72 in an ideal world becomes resistance on a retest for a further move down to 131.68 monthly weekly support. Okay traders, that's my analysis for today. If you want to keep up to date with my analysis, simply subscribe to the channel. I look forward to seeing you next time. Now if you'd like to follow my forex trading analysis throughout the week, why not subscribe to the ACY Securities live interactive trading feed Telegram channel. Simply contact Nathan.bray at acy.com to get access.